Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Citywide Council for District 75. Can we please have the interpreters please give your information? We'll begin with the Spanish interpreters.
Estaremos con el intérprete en español. Good evening. The following message is going to be in Spanish offering interpretation services. Buenas noches. Para escuchar esta reunión en español, por favor, marque desde su teléfono el número 347-966-4114 e ingrese el código de conferencia o número PIN 534-307-372, símbolo numeral. Una vez más, para escuchar esta reunión en español, por favor, marque desde su teléfono el 347-966-4114 e ingrese el código de conferencia o número PIN el número de conferencia o número PIN 534-307-372, símbolo numeral. Agradeceremos que por favor mantengan sus dispositivos en silencio para evitar ruido de fondo. Gracias. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we have the Mandarin interpreters
Sure.
the information?
各位家长，下午好。若需要国语翻译的，请打专线电话347-966-4114，密码 ID 是693-635-420。在输入后，请按井字。我将会把电话号码和密码放在右边的聊天室这里，以供大家应用。Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We will begin with the Citywide Council for District 75 business meeting for June 7th, 2023. The time is 6:14 p.m. We will take roll call. Recording Secretary Montalvan. I'm so sorry. Recording Secretary Montalvan, you wanted Ms. Verdejo, right? Ms. Verdejo, are you in this space?
Yes, I am. Good evening, everyone. Okay. All right. Christy Angel.
Here.
Constance Acedo.
She's still trying to get on.
Okay. Celia Green.
Here, good evening.
Hi, Ms. Green. Good evening. Aisha Husbands.
She's running late. She did send in. She's running late.
Okay. Patricia Jewett.
Here, present.
Joanne Jones. Joanne. Okay. Christy Montalvan.
Here.
Angel Morales. Okay, Angel. All right. Craig Spencer.
President, good evening.
Hi, Mr. Spencer. Good evening. And Amy Mingsai.
Good evening here.
Okay. We 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay.
Okay, we have 6 council members present this evening, and any council members come in, please support in letting Ms. Verdejo know that they are present. We will need a point of timekeeper. Any council members would like to support with timekeeping, please? Thank you.
I'll do that, Co-President Tsai.
Thank you, Co-President Green. We'll move on to the next, to adopt the agenda for this evening. Any member would like to add any items to the agenda before we adopt?
Yeah, I'd like to add one thing, which is the moment of silence that we usually have, because there were more, I will say there were more tragedies this week. especially today. Down south, they had a shooting in a high school this morning. So I'd just like to add that to the agenda, a moment of silence for everyone who's lost, whether it's today, yesterday, or this year.
Anything else? Yes, please.
Mm-mm.
Not, we will need to have a council member motion for the adoption of the agenda.
I motion to adopt the agenda. So including what Ms. Green mentioned.
I second it.
Thank you. Motion by Councilmember Jewett and second by Councilmember Spencer. May we please take a roll call? Ms. Verdejo? The motion is to adopt agenda with the addition to moment of silence.
Okay, so the motion is to adopt the agenda with to add the moment of silence. Christy Angel,
Yes.
Constance Aceto,
Yes.
Celia Green,
Yes,
Aisha Husbands. Okay, she's running late. Patricia Jewett,
Yes.
Joanne Jones. Okay. Christy Montavon,
Yes.
Angel Morales, Craig Spencer,
Yes.
and Amy Mingsai.
Yes,
Okay, so we have 7 votes for yes, the motion has passed.
thank you. Co-President Green, would you like to do the moment of silence?
thank you, Co-President Tsai. I would. So I would love to ask that everyone join us in a moment of silence for all those who have lost loved ones this year, whether it be due to COVID, whether it be due to gun violence, whether it be due to anything else, or whether it be sickness, health. So moment of silence, in remembrance of all those who we've lost this year, and 75 in particular has been hit hard this year. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other council members like to add? Okay, so we will move on to the next item. Is just a reminder for the member reimbursements and the any receipts or childcare forms that need to be filled out with your member reimbursement for the school year starting from July 2022 to the end of 2023, which we are, and we'll need to have it right away to process before the end of this term, or it will affect your reimbursement on the next budget for next council. So please send it in. And then the next one, again, is a reminder from the previous meeting on bringing back the borrowed Chromebooks. The Chromebooks, the power adapter, and a laptop case if you have it. Please let Ms. Verdejo know that what day or time that you're able to come in and drop it off at the office, and you will make the arrangements. We'll go to any other unfinished business from council members.
Council member, sorry, Co-President Tsai, can I add 2 things to that? I have a question and a comment. I thought we had decided just to give back the Chromebooks and the adapters and cords and stuff like that, and not the fabric, what do you call it, the fabric case.
I don't recall motion for that, but we can look it up.
I think we voted for that, I think, in the last meeting. Well, might not have been the last meeting, actually might have been the business meeting, I don't remember right now, off my head, but I know in one of the meetings. only because it's fabric and, you know, not easily cleaned and, you know, we just don't want to spread anything to anywhere, to be honest. The laptop you can wipe down and stuff like that.
Okay, I'll take a look. Councilmember Spencer, your hand's up.
Thank you, Co-President Tsai. Yes, I need to support Co-President Green's assertion that there was a motion passed unanimously last meeting, 8 to all in the favor of returning the Chromebooks and the cords exclusively. Just to let you know, it was passed by 8 votes unanimously last meeting, 16th of May.
Okay, no problem. So it'll just be the Chromebooks and the power adapter.
I concur. Politely, I concur.
Can I add one other thing? The member reimbursement is important to get in, as Co-President Tsai has said. So, and if anyone has any difficulty, can you let us know as soon as possible so that we can work on that, please? And the other thing I wanted to add to that is that it is not automatically drain the other council, because you would actually have to go to the next elected council if you don't get it this term by the 30th. You would actually have to go to the other council and you would have to ask them, because they get to vote on that. It's not a done deal. You don't automatically get it from the next council. So please be mindful and please get them in as soon as possible. No one wants to get them in on the 30th, because I'm telling you, when the famine shuts down, it shuts down. Councilmember Spencer, you have your hand up, and then Councilmember Angel.
Thank you, Co-President Green. Just for AA, Ms. Verdejo. Hi, Ms. Verdejo. How are you? I haven't had the opportunity to meet you. Hopefully I will. What are your hours tomorrow?
From
Tomorrow-
8.
Tomorrow. Okay, I'm sorry. My bad.
Sorry. No, you're good. From 8 till 4.
Is that Friday as well?
Friday, I'm not certain because I have to help set up for that event at Baruch.
Right. And I gotta work.
Hi, I'm Emily's mom. Emily Ramirez's mom. I am Ruby.
Hello.
Hello. I don't see.
Okay. So Ms. Verdejo, I'll reach out to you via email. There's a couple of things I gotta run around and do, and then if there's any delay from tomorrow, I'll copy both co-presidents and arrange. If I can't make it tomorrow, I'll definitely get it by next week. If that's okay with you and the co-presidents, I'll keep you guys in the loop.
Yep, certainly, no problem with me. Thank you, Mr. Spencer.
Thank you, Ms. Verdejo. Thank you, co-presidents.
Thank you, Councilmember Spencer. Councilmember Angel, please go ahead.
Thank you. For those members who do need assistance with their reimbursements, if you need help digitally, there is an extremely easy way that we can get it done in a very short amount of time. If you need help, you can email me and I will help you. I do know that Co-President Green has been an assistance if you need like a physical printing out, things of those nature, but we would need to know what level of help that you need, and we would need to know that between now and the end of next week. We don't want to overburden the finance department by dropping everything in at the end of the month. And as Co-President Green did speak, if it goes in after the 30th, you will have to speak with the council that comes in next to ask them to reimburse you for what you did not do on this end. We don't want to cripple another council and take away their money and funds for what they're going to do next year. So let's do our best, and you can respond to Co-President Tsai and Co-President Green and myself, and we will, and of course, please CC Haleen. We will do our best to help you in any capacity to make sure that you get this done by the end of next week, but please respond to us and let us know what you do need so that we can bring it full circle. Thank you to Angel, Joanne, Christy, Co-President Tsai, Green. We're looking for a few other people who might need a little bit of help. Let us bring this full circle. Let's do our due diligence. And thank you guys so much for what you have been doing. I know a lot is going on in life, so we got another week. If you need me, let me know. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Councilmember Angel. Okay, so I'm gonna turn it back to Co-President Tsai. Co-President Tsai.
Any other unfinished business before we turn over to other items? Okay, we will go to new business. Since we are at the end and there hasn't been any items brought up from the previous meeting, we will just address any additional new businesses that we want to just announce or bring up or update.
Co-President Tsai, Councilmember Spencer has his hand up, so go ahead, Councilmember Spencer.
Thank you, Co-President Green. Thank you, Co-Presidents. I'll be brief. There were things, I had a career change in the middle of this the last year of this term. So my activity has been limited. And I just wanted for the record, because there's a leadership that I didn't fulfill to my standards and the way I wanted it to. And I want to leave it on the record for the incoming council that if you need me, call me, contact me. I, based on my availability, my one and only is going to college in August. I will do my best to help the next council where needed. I will support the next council where needed. Like I said, I didn't do what I wanted, but I'm here for every meeting as much as I can. I'm here, and I'll do that for the next council when and where they ask, and I'll support where I can. I'll leave it at that. Thanks.
Thank you. Any other council members? Okay, we don't really have anything else, so would we like to motion to adjourn this business meeting?
I motion to adjourn the business meeting.
Can we get a second?
I'll second. Ms. Verdejo, can we have a roll call, please?
Yeah, actually, I don't think you need a roll call for the motion to adjourn. But go ahead, Ms. Verdejo.
I mean, are we doing it?
Do
Yeah.
we have any opposition to adjourning the meeting this evening? Do we
It
have
was,
any-
it was motioned by Councilmember Angel. And it was seconded by Co-President Tsai. Are all in favor? Are there any opposed? Are there any abstaining? Hearing none, hearing no opposed, and seeing no opposed, and hearing none abstaining, and seeing none abstaining, we are adjourned at 6:32 p.m. for the business meeting for June 7th, 2023. I'll turn it back over to Co-President Tsai.
Okay, thank you. We are now going to open our calendar meeting for the last calendar of the year, of the school year. Calling to order Citywide Council for District 75, June 7th, 2023 at 6:32 p.m. for the calendar meeting. Ms. Verdejo, may you please take roll call?
Yes, ma'am. Christy Angel,
Here.
Constance Aceto,
Here.
Celia Green,
Present.
Aisha Husband,
She's still running late. She'll be here soon, I'm sure.
all right, thank you, Ms. Green. Patricia Jewett, okay. Joanne Jones, Christy Montavon,
Here.
Angel Morales, Craig Spencer, okay, and Amy Mingsai.
Here.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Miss Verdejo, I think Miss Jewett fell off for a second. I'm gonna see if I can get her back on.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, I'm still not seeing her, so I guess we can proceed if we have.
Okay. Thank you. All right, so we have 6 people present.
Thank you, Ms. Verdejo.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Ms. Co-President Green, would you like to do a timekeeping for the calendar meeting as well?
I will. Thank you.
We will go to motion to adopt agenda this evening. Any members would like to motion or like to add anything to the agenda?
I'd like to add 2 quick things. One is, if we can get a suggested date for the, oh my God, for the bylaws committee. I think we have a suggested date for that. And so that could be added. And the other thing was, if we can have added a debrief at some point for the event that we have coming up, for the event on the 9th and stuff. So maybe we can have a not necessarily a debrief, update or something after, you know, to make sure we tie up all loose ends before the next council comes. And that can be virtual. That can be, you know, fully virtual. That's not a long standing meeting.
Can I just get some clarification? You talking about a third item for a separate meeting for the council to discuss for the next term?
No, meaning, no, not to discuss the next term. To discuss after we have the meeting, after we have the event, sorry, on Friday. And stuff, so it's like a wrap up kind of thing, or an update or something.
Is this for just the council members or this is a special meeting?
No, it's just for the council members. It's just to wrap up and that's it. It's not a not a meeting like not a meeting like this necessarily, just like a wrap up so everybody's on the same page. When we,
Councilmember Angel, your hand's up.
Hi, guys. Just as someone who has a checklist of items that I'm committed to do for the council before the 30th, I am more committed to creating a video of an update of what you may want to know as a wrap up versus a full out meeting. I am still working on onboarding guides. I am updating the file share, working on end of the year data, surveys. I'm circling out the end of the year. So I would respectfully ask not to have an additional meeting, and I will be willing to send some kind of creative, visual, textual output for people to have. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other
Thank you,
members?
council member. Mhm.
Any other members like to add anything to the agenda? Okay, so we need a member of the council to motion to adopt the agenda with items added. Any council members like to motion to adopt? the-
Coulson, I motion to adopt the calendar. Can you hear me?
Okay, thank you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, making a motion to adopt it with the changes.
Thank you for your motion, Councilmember Spencer and Councilmember Angel. Are you seconding or you have your hand up?
Yes.
Okay, motion by Councilmember Spencer and second by Councilmember Angel. Ms. Verdejo, may you please take the roll call on the adoption of the agenda with the additional items?
Yes, can someone reiterate the items that are being added? I have like the suggested dates for the bylaw committees and to have a debrief after June 9th event. And I know Ms. Angel added one more thing, correct?
To discuss on a wrap up for the year.
To discuss a wrap for the year, okay.
Clarity point, I did not add that. I said that I would be willing to create a video or some visual or textual component because I have multiple things that I need to do additionally to make sure that the next council can transition in well with items that I have to close out before June 30th. So I still have a lot that I need to do. So I'm requesting to not have an additional meeting, but to make a quick video so that everyone can see this is what's happening, or here's the videos, here's the wrap up, this is what it was. That's what I was offering. Just wanted to clarify.
I think the item was added, asked to add was Co-President Green.
If we choose to further discuss, I'll still keep a second on it.
Thank you, Councilmember Angel. All right, Ms. Verdejo, I guess you can do it. Did I clarify everything, Ms. Verdejo?
I hope so. So I'll go ahead and move forward. Thank you, Ms. Angel. Okay. All right, so tonight to adopt the agenda with 3 items. One, suggested dates for the bylaw committees. 2, to have an update on the end of year after the June 9th event, and to not have an additional meeting, but rather to provide textual. Yes.
You could put down
Well,
discussion. You could just put that down for discussion for a wrap up.
Well, I'm actually not trying to wrap up the whole year. I just wanted to have an update after the event, not necessarily of the whole year. Because I'm not, I have like 9,000 meetings too. So it was really about just a debrief of the event, not
a debrief after the event, correct?
That's it. It
Okay.
wasn't about all the other stuff. you know,
Okay,
yours
so,
basically
okay.
done other than that. Okay,
okay, thank
thank
you.
you.
All right, so I'll go ahead with the names. Ms. Christy Angel,
Yes.
Constance Aceto,
Can you repeat that motion to me so it can be clear? Thank you.
yes, ma'am. To adopt the agenda with 3 items. 1, suggested dates for the bylaw committees. 2, to have a debrief after the June 9th event. And 3, to not have an additional meeting, but rather to provide it text or video.
Okay, I'm sorry. You're saying that we're gonna have a debrief and the decision's been made to have a video or a text? Is that what I'm voting on?
Yes, that's what was stated.
Councilmember Aceto, for clarity, it's really still a motion to adopt the agenda
Yes.
with the addition of those 3 talking points. So they haven't been discussed yet, but with the addition of those.
Yeah, that's what I want to clarify. This is a discussion and not a vote to adopt a particular stance, correct?
Correct.
So we're discussing. So could we put that motion in a discussion format so it's clear to me? Because as it stands, it isn't.
Okay, no problem. And Ms. Verdejo, Ms. Jones has joined us.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so I would need, I think it was Craig. Can you amend it to say discussion of the 3? I think it was you. I can't remember if it was you or Ms. Angel. Give me.
Yeah. It was me, Co-President Green. Yeah, that's fine. I am.
I think you muted yourself for a second.
Can you
Go ahead.
guys hear me?
Now we can hear you. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I agree. I agree to amend my my motion to make it a discussion.
Thank you, Councilmember Spencer. And I believe Councilmember Angels, Ms. Verdejo, who seconded originally?
Yes, Ms. Angel did.
Okay, so Ms. Angel, do you still second?
If it moves us forward, yes.
Thank you, Councilmember Angel. All right, so go ahead, Ms. Verdejo, I'm sorry. You can go back to Constance.
Okay. Ms. Constance Aceto?
Yeah, could you read the motion again? Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Okay, so to adopt the agenda with 3 additions, well, discussions rather, for, suggested dates for the bylaw committees, to have a debrief after the June 9th event, and to not have an additional meeting, but to provide it either text or video.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Aceto. Celia Green,
Yes.
Aisha Husbands, Patricia Jewett,
She's trying to get back on.
Yes, yes.
yeah,
No,
I know
I texted I was back on finally. It was an
Okay.
adventure. Yeah. I'm doing the best I can. So,
I
yes,
did see that. Thank you, Ms. Jewett.
I know I saw the thumbs up. Thank you.
Christy
Thank you.
Montalban,
Yes.
Now they're popping up. Okay.
Joanne Jones. I'm so
just
sorry. Did I miss
popped
you?
up
I
now.
apologize. Joanne?
Yes, but can you read the motion again? It's just about dates. And
Okay. Yes.
Sure, go ahead.
All right. So the motion is to add 3 items to the agenda, and it's for a discussion. So suggested dates for the bylaw committees, to have an update after the June 9th event, and to not have an additional meeting, but to provide either text or video.
Sure, yes.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Jones. And Christy, I got you. Mr. Angel Morales. Craig Spencer. Okay. And Amy Mingzai.
Yes.
Okay.
I
Mr.
second.
Spencer?
Apologies. Yes. Sorry, I'm on 2 calls. Yes.
Yes. Okay. No worries. Understood. Thank you, Mr. Spencer. So, all right. So we have 8 votes for yes. The motion has passed.
Thank you. And can you please put down Councilmember Jones present at 6:44 p.m.?
Yes, I got her. Thank you.
We will move on. We were to have the Office of People Transportation and the Division of a Special Education Office be with us this evening, but they had a conflict. So they will be rescheduling a day that they can possibly join before the end of the school year. So we will move on to the Superintendent's Office at District 75. I know Deputy Kleinberg was gonna join us this evening because Superintendent Lusson is not feeling well. But I don't see her space, so if one of the district team members can reach out to Deputy Kleinberg and see if she's able to join us, or if we can possibly just wait for her to come in.
Hi, Council. This is Shona. I'm going to text her right now.
Right, thank you.
Co-President Tsai, I just wanted to mention to Ms. Verdejo that Mr. Councilmember Morales just joined us.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, while we wait for the Deputy Kleinberg for joining us, we can just we have minutes from the May business and calendar meeting shared with members of the council with this agenda this evening. So we need to approve for the minutes. Has anyone not received the meeting minutes for May business and calendar? Okay. Have everybody read the meeting minutes and would like to approve it for this evening, or would anyone be not ready?
I move to receive the minutes as distributed with any additional changes.
Any member like to second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Motion by Councilmember Angel and seconded by Councilmember Montalban. Ms. Verdejo.
Hi, yes. Okay, so the motion is to receive the meeting minutes as it was distributed with any changes necessary.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Christy Angel,
Yes.
Ms. Constance Aceto,
Abstain.
Miss Celia Green,
Yes.
Miss Aisha Husbands. Okay. Miss Patricia Jewett,
Yes.
Miss Joanne Jones,
Yes.
Miss Christy Montavon,
Yes.
Mr. Angel Morales,
Yes.
Mr. Craig Spencer.
Yes.
Thank you. And Miss Amy Ming Tsai.
Yes.
All right, so we have 8 votes for yes, the motion has passed.
Okay, thank you. We will come back to the district's report. We're gonna go into the committee reports for the last one of the term and the school year. Since we have Councilmember Angel here on my screen, would you like to share your committees?
Sure, yes. So I'll start with outreach. Thank you everyone who has been in support, helping me get different RSVPs out. We are still in the process of getting the second and final draft of the RSVPs. So I have all council members who have reached out, etc. Thank you to the district. You guys have been extremely supportive in helping in the spaces that we needed, that where we couldn't afford it for the budget, and in other places aesthetically. We just want to say thank you for the support that you guys are giving. With that being said, on the 9th, I know that Ms. Montalvant and Ms. Green and Mrs. Jewett expressed that they would be able to assist in setting the venue up. And we're currently looking at starting at 4 p.m. Is everyone still in sync to be available at that time at
Okay.
Baruch?
I know I'm in a meeting, but I just want to say.
Go ahead, Ms. Jewett.
No, I'm sorry. No. I'm gonna do my best to be there at 4. Okay. I'll
Okay.
definitely be.
I know when you show up, you help me get it done. So if you say you're going to be there at your best, I know that if you and Miss Montalban, will you be available? If you can't, that's okay. Me and Miss Jewett and
I'm bringing Aja with me.
Oh, nice. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you.
I will also do my best to get there by 4. I'm traveling from Staten Island, so I
If
will
you
do
guys
my best.
listen, this isn't a hard deadline. If you don't make it at 4, there's no harm, no foul. I do appreciate the help that you guys will give when you jump in, because it helps everyone bring things full circle. So thank you for restating your accountability to be there.
Miss Angel,
Yes,
Councilmember
ma'am.
Angel, I will not be able to be there until 5 because I don't. I'm bringing both of my sons to help with setup and cleanup, and one of them will not be here until 3. So
that's perfectly okay. You had told me before, so we can stagger that out, and all the help that anyone can give is completely great. I will say that we have given all of the certificates, the program, the tentative RSVPs over to our AA to make sure that Baruch and the district have what they need, etc. Everything situated with the caterer. And I will be doing one last loop around to make sure everyone who we are supposed to reach out to has been reached out to, that all the students are aware that they should be coming, because we do not have a full RSVP of our students. We will be reaching out to, and if Co-President Green can maybe follow up after this, to our former student representative, because we would like her and her family to be present at the event. So we want to make sure that does happen. Outside, go ahead.
Just an update. I did reach out to her yesterday, to the guardian and to her as well, and they can come if they're invited.
Perfect. So for those of us that will be attending, I am looking forward to having a great time. FYI, we will have a DJ, we will have student representatives, poetry, and karaoke. So please come with your songs prepared. We are going to have a good time and close out these 2 years. And we are very grateful for all of those people who will be in attendance and those who have supported our council throughout the year. What I will additionally say is I will be rounding out my final edits for our website. If there is anything you would like me to contribute and or add for your committee's website or to our website, please let me know. As of June 30th, I will be giving everything back on that date, all the passwords, all the templates, all of the things that we have, and then someone else will be in control of that. But if you do have things that you would like, please let me know. In addition, I will be creating a video representation of our years that we just served recently. If there are any videos or pictures or footage of places where you volunteered, places where you've shown up, please send that to me. I do want to make sure that everyone is represented and that you guys know that we really do care and appreciate the spaces where you've shown up for us. And that would be my update for outreach. We will have 4 to 5 people serving us with the council this year for the food. And I believe that might be the only extra steps that we have to share. Co-President Sy, am I missing anything to inform the council on?
I think you're doing a good job. The only thing that will be necessary for the evening of is the event is starting at 5:30 to 8 o'clock, and Councilmember Angel has already began with the program, and she will distribute that to members of the council to make sure that we know the program of the evening. And we will need to wrap up everything at around 7:45 to get out of the building at 8 o'clock. Since the event ends at 8 o'clock, we will need to wrap up because that's the space permit from Baruch College.
Okay.
So we do have the 5 servers from the caterers who will support with being there, serving the food, supporting the guests, and any cleanup that's necessary at the end of the event. So thank you, Councilmember Angel, for making sure that's happening. And that's it.
Thank you as well. I want to go over to the chat. President Daniels, my apologies. I actually have you on the list as I didn't send the invitation. I just listed you. Please forgive me for that. I did list all of your people and sent the invitations to the people that you requested. My apologies for not sending you a formal invitation. Please allow me to make that correct. I will send the formal invite to you now, but you are on our RSVP list. I will make that correct. Also, thank you for being available to come. Are you stating that you can come at 4 p.m. as well? Could you unmute? 4 p.m. Thank you. Okay. I'll for those that can come at 4, I'll just give you the information and loop you guys in for everything. Thank you for that. For the second piece with the annual report committee, the surveys are going out. I am still working on the data aspects and just looping up a package of this is what we would need the next council to do to round off our end of the year report. And I am still missing a few committee end of the year reports. If anyone needs any help, I don't mind helping you write it, helping you brainstorm it. I sent the template out to everyone. If we need to send it again, we will. But let's make sure that as we leave this final year, that we make sure the busing committee, the transition committee, the outreach annual report, any committee we've had where we've done real tangible work on, let's make sure we speak on that. It's time to, you get to brag on yourself for the work that you did, and you get to also, burn a path for the people that come after you to understand this is what we did, this is how we did it, these are the people that we spoke to, these are the recommendations that we have. So I do encourage you, if you still need any assistance, please let me know. As I did say, I will be rocking out till the 30th. And after the 30th, I will be transferring it over to the new council coming in. And again, thank you guys for the support that you've given and in the places where you're able to jump in and support. And I will be emailing and texting everyone to try to see if we can close the loop by next week. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Angel. And I just wanted to say to all of the guests who will be attending and members of the council, to be just safe, and today, tomorrow, and through Friday, with the air quality happening, just please take it easy. And there's no rush. If you can make it at 4:30 or 5, that's fine. We have plenty of people to support. So, we just want to make sure everyone is safe and taken care of. We know how the air quality is happening right now. So thank you. And thank you, Councilmember Angel. We will go to Councilmember Montalvan. Do you have anything to share with your committee?
Yes, since this is our last meeting, I just wanted to thank everyone for, supporting the transition committee, throughout the last, 2 years. It's been my pleasure to, chair this committee, and we've had a lot of great meetings. I also wanted to just share, yesterday I had the pleasure of attending the, Staten Island Federation of PTA's scholarship luncheon, where 3 of our District 75 students were awarded a scholarship. They won an essay contest, so they wrote an essay that was selected to give them a scholarship. And I just wanted to go ahead and announce their names because they deserve a little shout out. We have Kenneth Grant from the Hungerford High School and Joseph Mariano from the Great Kills High School, and Giuseppe Giovanni Di Arpa from South Richmond High School. And they were all incredible students who gave such beautiful speeches, and it was a really nice event to be part of.
Thank you, Councilmember Montalvan, and that's amazing to hear so much amazing things they're doing to support the students of District 75 in Staten Island. We will see if Councilmember Spencer and your co-chairs, I don't know if he's available to share on his committees. Councilmember Spencer. Okay, we'll come back. Councilmember Sudu, do you have an update on the bylaws committee?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. The item is on the agenda already, so Co-President Green put it on the agenda, so she'll lead the discussion on it when the time comes. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Councilmember Jewett, do you have anything on committees that you're a part of to share?
I don't really have any update. I just know that we've been busy trying to get some dates to have meetings. So I guess we'll be trying to do what we can before the 30th. Hola.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Jewett.
You got it.
I know Councilmember Husband, she's had a few workshops on safety, but I know she also worked with Councilmember Angel. So would you like to share anything, Councilmember Angel, on your co-facilitation with Ms. Husbands?
Yes, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who joined meetings, who downloaded the book, who used the resources. It really took a lot, honestly. And it's something that I hope that people do carry forward after we're gone. Our children really do need, our families as a unit, our village needs support with sexual education, whether we are triggered by the word sexual or education in whatever form. We need to make sure our kids aren't just looking at things as negatives because they have a full life And we want to make sure that they have a full life by informing them fully and being supported in spaces where we feel uncomfortable and we need a little bit of help. So I feel like we all need to find those spaces where we can be supported and see what our curriculum looks like, where it's not just, about HIV or using condoms, or forgive me if I'm being a little bit insensitive, but I'm saying it's about a whole person. So just making sure that our children are treated as whole people as we move forward in their education. And we were very happy to have YAI Knowledge come aboard with us and assist us in giving our parents education. And it was an extremely big feedback. And I do hope that the next council picks it up and champions it, where we found these spaces where we can continue to help people. We should continue to do so. I do know that Chair Husbands did also have a meeting on yesterday with Autism Speaks, and it was very informational. And for those of you that might have missed any of the last 2 or 3 meetings, those meetings will be up on our YouTube page at CCD75 Outreach by this Friday. If anyone would like any of the decks or PDFs, please do make sure to email our council, and we will make sure to get those things to you. Outside of that, I'm not sure anything else I might need to update. I might attempt to pass it off to Councilmember Jones, but I'm not sure. So I don't want to put anyone on the spot. So I'll give it back to Co-President Tsai otherwise.
Thank you. Councilmember Jones, do you have anything to share? If not, it's okay.
No, thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Spencer?
Thank you, Co-President Tsai, leaders of the council. I'm just came back from a successful parent election for 771K. They filled in their seats. They filled in the SLT seats. I'm so happy. My shoes are filled on that end, and now, so I want to spread the good vibes. I mentioned in the business meeting I had some challenges with my schedule. The committee that I had wasn't as sharp as I wanted to be. Treasurer Angel, I did reach out to you and I know you have a lot of hats on your head. God bless you. Thank you so much for everything that you've been a tech guru, you've been a financial guru, you've been a planner guru, and you've been the motor, you've been a major gear in this council for the past 2 years. No disrespect to the co-presidents, but I don't see this council being as successful in this term without you, Treasurer Angel. Thank you. But I did text you. I know it's busy. I'm busy. Hopefully, as head of the annual report committee, I need to tie up what I can with my council, with my committees. A lot of feedback will come from the co-presidents, because I do recognize Co-President Tsai and Co-President Green in terms of their input for the capacity committee. I recognize my co-chair for the capacity committee, Councilmember Asidiu, in terms of SCA. So just in the remaining weeks, I'll work with you on the side. My daughter's graduation is in 2 weeks from tomorrow, so hopefully I'll have some time next week if you have time. But I'll reach back out to you behind the scenes to see what I could do to tie this up before the 30th of June. So that's the lipstick I'm putting on this pig at this point.
No,
But
that's perfect.
Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
all
I'll say I got the text message and I had issues with my phone and I saw it bounce back. So definitely, I hear what you're saying with your expense reports. I hear what you're saying with the end of the year things. What I do want to put on record is that I do need you to go back and correct your July of last year, because you were getting a president's reimbursement versus a council members. So there's $75 that's owed to you. So if you can correct that when you submit all of the other documents, we should be fine. Whatever help you need on the side, let me know, email me, text me, we'll be fine.
Okay. Yeah. Co-President Green, thank you. I wasn't even mentioning my reimbursements. It's not about me, it's about you guys. I mean, you guys, I was co-president last school year, and you guys have been you guys, you ladies, and Mr. Morales, you guys have been active more than I have. I admit, so it was all more about that, really. But thank you for mentioning that. I did. I'll be in touch. I'll be in touch. Thank you so much. Thank you, Co-President Tsai. Thank you, Co-President Green.
Thank you. I think we are at the end of this shared out for committee report. So we will go to Deputy Kleinberg. She is in the space, and welcome. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you, Co-President Tsai, and it's wonderful to see all of you this evening. As always, we are thrilled to share space with all of you, and we always look forward to not only being able to hear from you and the fabulous work that's happening across your committees and the council. It's interactions with our schools, but also to be able to provide you with some updates as well. Superintendent Louisan is hoping to be able to join. He did have a doctor's appointment this evening, so he was not sure if and or at what point he would be able to join. So I am speaking on his behalf, and I am going to go ahead and share some updates with you. It's been a busy time in the district at this late date in the school year, with so much activity, a buzz related to all of the wonderful celebrations of learning that are happening across our schools. We thank those of you that were able to join us on May 25th, where we celebrated the Samuel Stern Awards to honor 12 of our students who received awards based on a vote from numerous applications that came into our committee. So thank you to our parent leaders who helped to support making the selections. Our students were phenomenal. They told us their extremely heartwarming stories of perseverance and the ways that they have really rise to the occasion in every aspect of their work in their school, their support to their family, and their commitment to their community. So congratulations to all of the students. We are at the end of another successful year of celebrating our staff in a wide variety of ways. We held new teacher symposiums across the boroughs to celebrate our new first-year teachers. We had over 200 new teachers from across the 5 boroughs that shared their best practices and some of the tried and true things that they have done and wanted to pass on to others about their experience in their first year. They all came in with a smile, are very much looking forward to the summer and to year 2. And we feel very fortunate to have so many enthusiastic and talented young teachers. It's young in their career teachers with us across District 75. We also have continued our pipeline institutes this year. We've supported our para pipeline candidates that are working towards their teaching credentials to speak to them about the responsibilities of the role of teacher. Our aspiring candidates who are completing their administrative entails, and we relaunched after a good number of years our Aspiring Principal Institute this year. So we have several of our talented APs who are looking towards a future possible role as principals. So we are always looking at ways that we can build up our pipeline and support our staff. We also lend support through our district team to our newest administrators. The Assistant Principal Institute and the New Principal Institute are forums that cover a variety of topics to help our newest leaders to liaise with each other, to talk practice, to hear from professionals within the field, and to build the capacity they need for their new role as leaders. So we are always looking at new ways to be able to support and connect our educators across all aspects of District 75, and we have enjoyed celebrating another successful year of those supports with them. In addition, it's been such an exciting time of events. The District 75 annual art show had 44 pieces of student artwork that was up in the gallery at Positive Exposure on 109th Street. There was a family opening celebration on May 10th. We had the Joy of 373K's rock band, and over 120 guests attended that day. We also had the Guggenheim and District 75 Arts Education close off 88th Street between 5th and Madison for our Saturday family event. We had over 600 guests, which was truly amazing, and just a wonderful opportunity to be able to showcase the many, many talented students within District 75 and their beautiful artwork. So thank you to all who participated in these events. We also just yesterday had an amazing time at the Festival of the Arts, where District 75 students showcased their many talents at Stuyvesant High School. We had groups from 11 schools present on the stage at Stuyvesant, including a piano solo. There were dance routines, live bands, theatrical scenes, and DJ'd celebration of hip hop. So all involved had an amazing time. It was the students from 373K served as our phenomenal hosts, and students from 226M volunteered and helped to support the program. So we always have all hands on deck for these events, and this was another tremendous showcase of our students' work. But we're not done. There are upcoming events as well. We are going to be co-authored by District 75 Arts and so on June 17th, from 1 to 3, there is going to be an exhibition entitled This Is Me, to showcase student artwork from both of these series. And the exhibition will be open in affiliation with the MoMA from June 17th through October 2023. And so this will give everybody an opportunity to come and view some more great examples of our students' artwork. In terms of curriculum and instruction, we are proud to say that we exceeded our mid-year targets when we looked at our comparative analysis of students' literacy gains in their screener assessments. The endpoint screener window actually closed today, so we will be working diligently to look at our end of year gains for our students so we can celebrate their outcomes and really use this information to inform our next step planning and goal setting. We also are very much looking forward to having 24 District 75 schools that will be participating in phase 1 of the kindergarten through grade 5 HMH into reading pilot, along with many schools across districts in the city. These schools will be implementing the curriculum in select classes during the 23-24 school year. So training has already gotten underway for our teachers and administrators and district literacy leads. And we're very much looking forward to joining the city and looking at how curriculum implementation is going to support the diverse needs of many of the students within District 75. We are also going to be supporting an alternate assessment core curriculum review process to look at and make some recommendations for the city in terms of core curriculum choices across student populations for the 24-25 school year. And we want this to be a very inclusive process. So we will be communicating monthly with our parent leaders in your various leadership forums on this process, so we can discuss what we're seeing, answer questions that you have, get feedback from you, our parent leaders, and we do welcome input from the council's curriculum subcommittee as well. So more to come on that as that engagement gets underway. Shona, would you like to share some summer program updates?
Sure.
Thank you.
So thank you, Council. It's good to see you all tonight. So not too much different from what I shared in our last meeting. There are 79 schools that will have Summer Rising as extended day, and we will be running 5 hub sites. I know before you ask, you want to know how the rideshare process is going to go, but we will have that information by the end of the week. One of the things that I am happy to tell you is that we were able to successfully advocate for additional funds for our schools for enrichment purposes over the summer. And so during the summer, all of our schools that are K through 8 will get an additional $15,000 to go and get some additional enrichment for our students during the day. And our hub sites will also be funded for enrichment purposes. And while we're speaking of enrichment, although we don't have the final report, I just want to do a callback to the listening tours from way back when we heard overwhelmingly the desire for enrichment opportunities for all of our students. And as Deputy Superintendent Kleinberg has been talking about some of the great events and celebrations that we've had, I just wanted to let everyone know that 51 schools ran after-school programs this year for our students, in addition to Special Olympics of New York and the swimming classes and the music lessons and all of the other great stuff. So we're very happy that we were able to manage those over the course of the year. So that is what we have in terms of summer programming and after school. I don't know if there's anything else that you are going to report on, Shelley.
Just a couple more quick pieces, and I do want to also lift up our family team and Nora or Jackie, if you'd like to unmute and provide your updates before I wrap up with a couple quick items from transition. I see Nora. Thanks, Nora.
Yeah. Hi, good evening, everyone. Happy to be here with you tonight. So as we all know, the health and wellness fairs happened. We scheduled them for June 3rd, June 17th, and the 24th. We had our first health and wellness fair this past Saturday in Queens, and we had over 300 families join us in celebrating the end of the school year. The focus of the event was health, wellness. We had field sports, dancing, demonstration of cooking, Healthy by Common Threads Agency. They gave out some really incredible gift bags to our families that included measuring cups and spoons and recipes and cards, how to do healthy shopping. So that was really incredible. And our own Patrick, District 75 teacher, chef, culinary, did an incredible job in doing smoothies for our families, and the line was just down the field. Everybody left feeling, this was a really great event. And so it was very positive. And with that, I really hope that we see you. I know many of you came to the event on Saturday. We hope to see you on the 17th in Brooklyn, on the 24th in the Bronx, 188X, 721K in Brooklyn on the 17th. Just an update on Nixa. We have currently about 14,000 accounts activated in District 75 as of the end of April. So those numbers are going up, and we're really happy to see those numbers. And that would definitely mean families are hooked up to those necessary accounts. Fathers Council, we are so excited. On June 26th, we're going to Citi Field. District 75 dads and the D75 team are going on June 26th at 7:10 to see the Mets versus Brewers game, and we are excited. We have our gear ready to go. Something that I know many questions have been made regarding workshops. Our District 75 website has been updated, and you should be able to access every workshop that's being provided by our school teams and district office by going to our district website, and I'll put it in the chat after I'm done here, so that way you can access the catalogs. They're still being updated, they're still being inputted, so bear with us as that process happens, but it's there and you should be able to access these workshops. PTA elections are going, and they're ongoing with the support of the President's Council. Ms. Andrea Daniels, who's here, you know, she's been supporting school teams with these elections, so very grateful, and they should be going on to the end of June. That's it for us here. Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.
Thanks, Nora. I wanted to round up the superintendent's report with just a few of the many exciting pieces of the work that is happening from our Office of Transition and Post-Secondary Initiatives within District 75 under the direction of Natalie McQueen. We really do have a lot of very exciting things happening, and I'm just going to highlight a few to keep the celebration going of the things that are happening with our students across the district. We do have a very robust application process underway for summer youth employment. We have to date 700 older youth ages 16 to 21 and 270 younger youth ages 14 to 15 who have been enrolled through their application. So we are very excited for them to have these opportunities over the summer. We've continued some of our other programs as well. I know we have spoken about before the Work, Learn, Grow program with 105 students, and our Lincoln Center Ambassadors Magnet program has supported 19 students this year. We also have identified career and technical education teachers across the district to help to inform decision-making in the development of some CTE magnet programs, taking into consideration our students' interest, needs, and viable employment options. So we are working with schools across the boroughs to look at not only how to expand upon the programming happening within their building, but also offering opportunities to students across our schools to join in with some of the training in areas such as cosmetology, culinary arts, home health aid programs, automotive, technology education, etc. We did receive funding this year to start to build up those programs. So we're really excited to be able to utilize the resources that have been ordered and provided to look at how we can train our students as rigorously as possible within these and other areas. During the month of June, we have schools participating in Sector Strategies Boot Camp, Professional Learning, and Workforce Professional Training Institute. Both of these are designed to lay the groundwork for employer engagement and job placement. So we're really looking at how we can make sure that that the adults have the strategies that they need to support the students having the skills that they need, so we can work towards making sure that as many students get placed in jobs as possible, and that they exit from our program with skills that are going to be viable for the job market. In addition, school-based job developer and district and transition staff will complete other professional learning in the foundations of job seeker preparation, foundations of employer engagement, and foundations of using a trauma informed approach to workforce development. I know it's come up many times in these meetings, the importance of the continued social emotional lens. So it's something that we really do make sure we embed across our trainings and strategies. And also very exciting, we piloted this year a virtual 15-week food handler certification course for 20 students, and the students will take the New York State exam at the conclusion of the course to be certified food handlers. And we are going to keep moving forward in providing deeper and deeper training to our students. So more to come in terms of what's happening with our job training programs, the reestablishment of our employment training program with OPWDD, the expansion of our project search, full-time work-based learning programs, etc. So this is just a taste of what's to come in terms of the world of transition. So much.
Co-President Cy Green, would it be okay if I said 30 seconds more?
Sure, jump in.
I know that I am speaking for the superintendent and his leadership team when I want to say it. I want to thank you for an amazing 2-year term. As many of you know, was in face 2 years ago when the CEC elections were run. And I'll tell you, 2.5 years ago, we weren't even sure we were going to do them because we were in the middle of a pandemic and we're trying to figure everything out. And you guys showed up virtually. You have accomplished so much in the last 2 years. For those of you who've been here longer than that, you've accomplished so much in so many years. You are consistently fearless advocates for this community. And as Councilmember Angel said, you need to brag on yourselves, but I want to thank all of you for what an amazing job you have done under such challenging and trying circumstances, and yet are always able to find the joy in this community, the joy in this work. So I just wanted to say thank you, and what a great job. What a great job you all did.
Thank you so much.
Bravo, bravo to you all. We are so appreciative of your continued advocacy on behalf of our
Absolutely.
district.
Thank you. So we will open up to council members first, and then we open up to guest members to ask a question or make a comment. I see Co-President Green's hand up.
Good evening. Oh, I'm sorry. Good evening. Don't even have the light on. All right. I wanted to ask Deputy Superintendent Kleinberg, is there still the para training program that 75 was doing before? Because I think 373 might have been one of the schools that was doing it, as well as 721K in the
So
past.
we do have, there have been some shifts in terms of the different schools of affiliation in terms of the program, but yes, we do still have students there.
Okay, and it's a continue. I just want to make sure it hasn't gone away, because I know that in the time that I was in 360, which is most of the time I was in schools, they used to hire some of the paras from the para training program, the students that became paras for the D75 students that became paras for our D75 classes. And it does, the ones that I have gotten for my sons in the particular classes they were in were excellent. And I think they have an empathy that is unmatched, because they have gone through struggles themselves. So, and a lot of the students really get, the best of them, or the best out of them, and are motivated a lot by them, because it's sort of like, well, they're like me, so I would really love to see it go, because somebody told me it wasn't still going. I was like, oh, very nervous about that.
We absolutely, it's continue to build those opportunities. And I will say that outside of moving towards para training, we also do have students that have been working in other capacities within our schools as school aides and in other areas. And our schools really celebrate the opportunity to bring their former students back. And you're right, they serve as tremendous role models within the school building. It's as many schools as possible to keep schools. Thank you for lifting that up. It's such an important piece of what schools do.
All right. Thank you.
Shelley, do you want me to just add a little bit on that really quickly?
If you can, please, Sasha.
Sure. There are 5 schools and it's 12 students per school. So I'll drop the schools in the chat so that folks can have that information.
Councilmember Angel.
I wanted to say, and I don't know if it makes too much sense, but I just want to put it out there. I know that we're separating certain spaces with D75, the Office of Autism, et cetera. And with the Office of Autism, I know that it's small right now, but for people who are within that program, there is a capacity to be trained as a RBT, which is the Registered Behavioral Technician. And I 1000% think every D75 para needs to be trained in that perspective, considering the different scopes and spaces that we have for children. But in the space of what we have available, I would just say for those of us who can reach out to people who might want to consider working in the program or getting the registration with autism, the Office of Autism, getting the training, let's just push our parents to be better in the spaces that they can and just let them know what is available and the spaces that they can serve. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have any other council members? Okay, and do we have any guests that have a question or a comment? So I'll jump in. There has been a article that came out yesterday in regards to special education services for preschools. And it was indicating that there's a huge number of preschools or preschools that are currently in going to kindergarten are currently not getting their services met, which includes all the service providing of related services. So I know we are toward the end of the year, but we're also preparing for Chapter 683 and the upcoming school year. And so I know this has been a history for a while of growing increases of students with IEPs and referrals to District 75, and also well as the related service providers. What is the current status as to retaining service providers to ensure that schools are capable of filling their students' IEPs and making sure that they can search as far as possible before the RSA letters go out. I think there's sometimes that, certain schools are very quick enough to give an RSA letter to a family, like early in the school year or early in the time when the student is coming into their program. Or they will take some time to search if other sites that they have a service provider that can fill in spaces. And there's so many other things, as we know, in related service providing in IEPs, but just to kind of have an idea of where we are at and what can advocates and parents support, because I know that when it comes to service providers not feeling happy on outside agencies working with DOE, there's a pushback, but I have heard that parents who've reached out to agencies outside and needed services for their child in a DOE building, there's a better response. But every individual case is different. But just like to see if there's any kind of information you have since we haven't really touched on this related service providing since the beginning of the school year.
Sure, and it's something that we also it's hold as such an important piece of the work that we're doing, making sure that our students are served. Just to give everybody kind of the current state of how many mandates we're serving across our schools, because it is quite a large number of mandates. We're serving over 12,000 counseling mandates, almost 400 hearing mandates, over 21,000 occupational therapy mandates, over 800 physical therapy mandates, over 32,500 speech mandates, and just over 300 vision mandates. So there are, it's as you were speaking to, Amy, there are a large number of students that require these services. So we do continue to look to get additional providers wherever there's a need. We continue to work with our Office of Related and Contractual Services when we do need to contract out. So we work very closely with Helen Kaufman, with Angela Torres, to make sure that we are finding those providers to push into our schools when we're not, when there is a continued need. If an RSA is issued, we will continue to work directly with families in collaboration with the school to make phone calls and to help to try to secure those providers. Credentialed in related service fields, we want to make sure that we have candidates at the table to be available to be able to meet all of the needs of our students. And we are very committed to making sure that we are taking whatever steps are necessary to ensure that that happens to the greatest of our abilities. We're all on the same page in terms of wanting to push and to advocate. So thank you for uplifting that.
Yeah, thank you. Because it was actually calling for, and I'm sure it's even higher in the K to 12, but 10,000 preschoolers not getting special education services is significant. So thank you. I don't think any other council members or guests have questions or comments. Okay, so thank you. Okay, council member Spencer.
Thank you, Co-President Tsai. Since yeah, I need to concur that I heard that what you were talking about, those services, and it that led me to how we had to deal with COVID and the shortages and all that. So it's good that you thank you, Co-President Tsai, for asking that question. But it's an ongoing effort, right? And this is my last opportunity. It's my last meeting on this council, so I just wanted to say thank you for all the District 75 management in terms of just being as open as you can be, and the stuff I was writing down stuff, all my notes, what you were going off for Shelly and Nora and everybody, like you guys are Guggenheim, Lincoln Center. Whoa, all right. But that's where our kids need to be. Our kids are just like anybody else. And that's what this parent body represents. Our kids are just like anybody else. And we have our challenges still, but I'm glad we come to a place where we were 6 years ago, where we didn't get that consistency in terms of communication, and now it's a standard. Thank you for that. I just need to say that. I just need to say that I feel confident that leaving this council, it'll continue, and And I want to thank you, the part that you have to play. And I mean, there's still more growth that needs to be had. The busing stinks, but I just want to say thanks. Thanks, Co-President Tsai. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Councilmember Angel.
Yes, just as a final thing, I want to say thank you to Councilmember Green, to Councilmember Tsai, to even Mr. Spencer, the people who were here before us. There's been a lot of different places where people showed up, especially Co-President Tsai. I would not have made it through these 2 years without you. We butted heads in different places. And y'all listen, parents, when you come up in here, politics are going to be politics, and you still have to remember your why. And you have to be a link in a chain. And I thank the district for showing up in all the places and showing me how you really care about students, because you cared for mine. I'm not here to fight for my son. I'm here to fight for all 27,000 students. And you showed me that one baby matters to everybody. And that's, what matters to me. And as we leave and we're moving forward in the legacy, I know when I first came on, and, President Tsai has been at my hip. She's been my person, and it was like, learn your bylaws. For the new people coming, I'm saying this because the last meeting of the last session was where I was introduced to this council. So understand your why, know our bylaws, understand what you're fighting for, and come in and don't shake. Find your people and make things happen, and just remember your why, because things are going to change, things are going to move. But if you understand your why, then nothing else will matter. As council members, I will say, I would love, and we've talked about this before in different places, and I'm going to put something on our website that'll look like a warm onboarding for CCD75, because as FACE does help us out, people with elections, and how do you move as a elected official, it still is something separate and very special for our district. We're the only one in the country. So it's important that we make sure whoever comes after us is fully supported from this point forward. How did we move? What is our legacy? Who were our contacts? How did the workshops go? Who do we talk to in the district? Do not make them work from the ground up. Let them pick up the torch where we have left it. When it comes to our co-presidents, what did you need? What did you want? What did you need to understand? You have the power to empower whoever is coming in after you. And I ask that, I know that this is our last meeting. I know we're going to celebrate people on the 9th. We're not done until the 30th. If you have information to pass forward, if you have things for me to share and give so that people can move effectively for the next term, let me know. Let's work as a team so that we can support the new incoming council. And thank you guys for everything. And let me say this, Mr. Siadu, thank you. You have helped me grow in a lot of ways when it came to the bylaws, to understanding different things. And thank you in the spaces where you had my back, in the spaces where I bumped heads, and in the spaces where I've grown. Thank you guys very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Angel, and appreciate the sentiment. So thank you, Shelley, and everyone here in this space. I feel like we're getting a little emotional here, especially the ones that have been here for quite a long time.
Well, you are all an inspiration to us all, and this is what sustainability is all about. So thank you so much for allowing us to share this space with you, to see the torches that you have lit and that will carry on. And it has been an honor for all of us to be able to be a part of the process. And it warms our hearts, the level of advocacy and determination and perseverance that you have on behalf of all of our students. So thank you once again.
Thank you. So we're gonna just move on to the council's next item. Thank you for being here. If you want to stay on, you're welcome to. Thank you to Nora, Ray, Sasha, Jackie, Shona, and I don't know if I missed anybody else, but
President Tsai, I know the council members got to ask questions of the superintendent staff. Can the public also do that?
Yeah, I did open that up to people, but I have not seen any hands or. If I missed anything in the chat, I don't know, but yes. Any members of the public would like to ask a question or make a comment?
I'm actually not seeing any hands either, so.
Thank you. And again, thank you for being here and you're welcome to stay. So we will go to Co-President Green, if you would like to share your co-president report. And then I can pull up mine.
Do you want to go first? Because I need to step away for a couple of seconds. If you don't mind.
I need another few minutes. So I will just go to Councilmember Angel for the treasury report.
So far as, just to reiterate, we do have majority of our council members in with the reimbursements. Again, if everyone can try to have everything in by the end of next Friday, if you need any assistance, any documents, if we can help you sign it electronically, whatever level of assistance you need, please let us know. Worst case by the end of day next Friday. Thank you. Oh, additionally, in transparency, I am almost completed with working up the mock-ups. I had to make some changes for our banner and for our tablecloth, but those items will be completed before June 30th and mailed over to the council's office. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any approvals that we have missed for the year? Any announcements that anybody like to share that's happening in the season of celebration and appreciation from members on the council? Okay, Councilmember Spencer.
Thanks, Co-President Sy. Hey, are there still plans for the Disability Pride Parade? I think COVID kind of threw things for a loop. And did we miss it last year? Is it in the fall now? It used to be in July.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Go
I'm
ahead,
sorry.
Councilmember Angel.
We didn't miss it last year. The city canceled it due to the weather, and that happened in the summer. And so this year I did receive an email through outreach, but it is for October 22nd. So my plan was to make sure that I forwarded that to the president so that they can make sure the next council has access to it and that they can vote on participation or not before October 22nd, which is the date of the parade. Physically.
Thank you, Treasurer Angel. Yeah, I heard October. I had it in my mind someplace. I'm like, something's
listen,
missing.
you were on track. You were right on track. Literally, they just sent out the email confirming the date. And thank you, because I would not have remembered it for this meeting. So thank you for bringing that up again.
It's a beautiful thing. It happened the first year of this council. And that's why I had to thank the district, because we were under the district banner. Now we'll probably have our own banner or whatever. But it was the first time I think this version of the council got together and congealed or whatever. So it's a great disability pride. And it's worthy for us to step up, and it's worthy for us to say it can't be for us without us. That's what I'm trying to say. Thanks. So hopefully the district will get that come time October, and I'll put it in my planner, October 22nd. My daughter will probably be up in college, but I think I should be there. I think I'll be there. So I'll stay in touch.
Thank you. Any other council members? Ms. Verdejo, can you please put down I believe Councilmember Aisha Husbands is in the space. Councilmember Aisha Husbands, are you here?
Yes, I saw her come in. I already marked her present.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Councilmember Aisha Husbands, do you have anything to share in your committee or any updates?
She texted she was in the waiting room a little earlier, so I'm not sure if she's fully in the room with us.
Okay, let me see. She probably didn't get connected or some, did somebody admit her room? I don't see her. Okay, so we'll come back. Any other council members? Okay, Co-President Green, are you there? Okay, I have I'm trying to gather all that stuff that I've done, but I just wanted to say, again, it's been a wonderful 2 years being productive with the members of this council, current council. We've done quite a amount of stuff in mostly remote. I think we've been in person together a couple of times, but it is really nice to be in this space remotely and have the opportunity to be remotely under these unfortunate circumstance of outside of global climate. So I just wanted to share a few celebrations that I have participated, and it's been a joy to be in the space of our District 75 students and staff and the district leadership team. I think there were a lot of cries and a lot of happy joys and a lot of photo pictures. I was at the district's poetry events, and I think that was before our actually last meeting, but it was really wonderful to have all of the schools and students that shared out their poetry with the family members, and how wonderful their words were to reflect who they are and what they represent, and the amazing artwork that came with it. So much talent. And the District 75 Spelling Bee that was hosted at 94M. It was a joy to see those students prepare so much and to prepare the first half an hour before the actual final championship. But it was really wonderful to see all those students just grow and be so amazing, and be on a stage. Another opportunity that I've been able to attend in person, and it actually was the District 75 debate championship for the high school students. 721M against 177Q, and 177Q had won the final championship of the debate team for the school year 2022 to 2023. I had the liberty to enjoy the virtual competitions early on this year. It was amazing, from the students that are in high school, and then the competitions with the middle schools students, and just to see the joy that they have, and how these topics relate to their lives. One was the big hit on the robotic NYPD dogs. I think that really reflects a lot about what the future looks like regards to the AI that we are going through in this generation. the new teacher symposium that Deputy Superintendent Kleinberg had mentioned earlier was hosted in Manhattan, Queens, and Brooklyn. And it was really wonderful to be in the space with our new teachers. Many of them who were former staff, in paraprofessionals or counselors or related service providers, and they go into the next journey in their life of being in the classroom and teaching. It's just so wonderful, and to really share and reflect who we are on Citywide Council for District 75 and lending them the support that the next council and future councils are there to support them and their work with students in the classroom, and to really empower them around leadership, because it is not easy the first year, like understanding all of the policy and the necessary means of understanding all the students in your class and their disabilities and their abilities as well. So encouraging, inspiring, and also advocating that we need more parent involvement and parent engagement, and that's all through communication and leaving with, it takes a lot of patience, right? And it takes a lot of encouragement of building relationships with families. The Samuel Stearns Awards event at Brewer College was amazing, like cries. I think all of us were just so proud of all the students and so proud of the families that got these students where they are. There was one of the 12 students who was actually a middle schooler and actually celebrated his birthday on that day. And then we had some high school students who are actually graduating and going off to their next life after District 75. And so it was so amazing and touching, and to hear the stories that they shared. And President's Council was last month, was really touching on the elections for parent teacher associations and parent associations to begin for the upcoming school year, to make sure that their executive boards are ready to support their school communities. So thank you to President Daniels from President's Council and her executive team for supporting all the elections. They've been working real hard, doing all the remote elections through various schools. And they will be hosting their President's Council meeting, I believe, toward the end of June to close out this year's President's Council. And I believe it's remote because most of the attendees are more available remotely. So that concludes President's Council. And district leadership team. So district leadership team was held today in person as well as remotely. There was a luncheon, and it was really wonderful just to see people who were able to be in person, that are members of the district leadership team, and to kind of bring light to what we have been doing and what we'll continue to meet for July and August, and what they plan to meet for next school year in achieving their mission and vision. And then lastly, I know there's maybe a few, that's actually another few actually. Early on this school year, as a member of outside of the council working with Healing Centered Schools initiative, Deputy Superintendent Kleinberg and the team here have kindly brought on and fostered the modeling of healing centered practices into District 75, and have piloted 5 schools to be the hub schools of each of their boroughs to create an atmosphere of healing centered projects and practices that they will be bringing into their classrooms and sharing along with their cohort principals and their boroughs to really expand, all of the practices around mindfulness, yoga, healthy eating, wellness. There is also parent involvement and a big component of, this whole school community comes together. And so these 5 schools have created their projects and multiple series actually to work along with their staff and parent leaders and the ambassadors of the school. So we were very excited to see and hear and also take some professional development around healing centered engagement to really produce even more for this upcoming school year. So very excited to see amazing stuff happening around that. And we know that our students, our staff, our families, and district leadership team needs to continue the social emotional work around coming back from a pandemic as well as everything that's going on now. But we need to continue that work because it works for our community. So it's really nice and hope that each of the members here can still participate, expanding the healing practices at their school as well, and also visit other schools that are doing it in District 75. And lastly, there was a proposal in the Bronx for school utilization, and it is very exciting to see these 2 proposals be combined and come up with a new building for a gen ed school K-5 be expanded to a K-8, and a new building for 2024 to 2025, but also adding on another District 75 school in the building for students, hopefully locally as possible in District 7, but also all the students that will need District 75 in the surrounding districts, the Bronx and Manhattan. And that was concluded in a very supportive joint public hearing recently. All the principals, including the new dyslexia school in District 7, who's on the same campus, are very excited to see this proposal as a support and for the community, for all communities that are being served here. And that is actually being voted on in the panel for educational policy for the calendar date of this upcoming Wednesday, June 21st at 6 p.m. And they will be in person the first time in a while to do the votes. So if you're in the Bronx and you really want to support this new co-location of a District 75 and District 7, please come out. I will be there certainly, and I'm always there for all of our District 75 supports. So hopefully Co-President Green is here and can share her report before we go to public comments. Co-President Green.
Thank you, Thank you, Co-President Tsai. But before we go to my report, the Spanish interpreter had her hand up for a while, so I don't know if she wanted to ask you a question or not.
Yes, sorry, I'm in the waiting room in the call. If you could please let me in, for some reason, get me out of the call.
Okay.
All right, I'll take care of it now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here, and thank you to all the council members who served for this past 2 years. And it was great working with you all. I know some of you will continue on, but meaning with the next council probably. But since we don't have results yet, so. I have been to, for this year anyway, I've been to many of the joint public hearings for the various D75 schools. Actually, it's been a pleasure this year because most D75 schools have been added. They're being added to a building, to a co-location, or they are having an expansion. I remember the days when it wasn't necessarily always this expansion, and it wasn't always a good co-location, so to speak, that the district that was going to be hosting us was not always happy to have the D75 students in their building. But this year has been good. This term in general has been good in terms of going to the joint public hearings. I think there was only one maybe last year that was a little difficult, but I do think that the more that we are in these spaces, meaning we D75 students, D75 staff, D75 parents, the better it is, because I think people need to remember that D75 is programming. So we can actually be in any school, in any building in DOE. And it is really programming around the needs of the students who have the IEPs have the most intensive, tend to have the most intensive needs. I have been the designee for the district leadership team for this year. So it was quite interesting. This was the year that the bylaws has been updated. I mean, completely updated. We did spend several of our meetings just around that. And I would like to remind not just district leadership teams, but that should also, because district leadership teams actually show the way for school leadership teams, and school leadership teams should at least every 2-3 years be trying to update and review their bylaws as well. And because of all the changes that have come in these last, I would say in these last 4 years almost now, with the advent of COVID, I would like to see that happen, especially in our D75 spaces. I would also like to see more work around making sure that our safety meetings are happening with all parties and stakeholders in the buildings that involve D75 programs. Because although there are many that are working really cohesively and really collaboratively, there are some that are not. So we do need to make sure that that is happening, because safety is safety no matter where you are in the city. No one knows what's going to happen where, and it is always best to be prepared. And I love for all stakeholders to always be prepared and always be there. The safety meetings are always where the BRT is, the building response team. And it's often where you can learn about the different protocols. So I encourage parents to go, or encourage parents who are PA presidents and or the PTA presidents to make sure that if they cannot be at the safety meetings, that they designate a parent from the PA or the PTA, or have a vote on that parent that will be a designee in the event of them not being able to. I have been to many D75 things this year, but one of the things I think I was really happy to see is that the culinary arts program is alive and well. And for a lot of the things that happened this year, we were able to request food from the culinary services for 79M, and I don't remember what the other school is, but I'm pretty sure it's a Manhattan school. And those students were phenomenal. They also were the students that put together the food for our legislative breakfast, and we are grateful to them. During the time that I was the president for the President's Council, this was a number of years ago, is when they really started providing food for the parents at that time, and this is prior to COVID. So I think that's definitely a program that is worth keeping and worth pushing forward. I think all programs that encourage our children to move forward and encourage them to go for their dreams are definitely worth keeping and worth being supported. So not to take up more time, but I just want to say thank you to everyone here for being with us and for supporting us throughout the year. And we will look forward to seeing you soon. I'm sure that we're not, even if whether we are on the council or not, we as council members, I'm sure we'll all be back at some point to support the next council. And just to support the work that's going on in D75 and helping parents navigate is what we do. So thank you. I'm going to turn it back over to Co-President Tsai.
Thank you, Co-President Green. So if there's nothing else from council members, we will go to public. We'll go to public comment and then we'll come back and address the other items that Co-President Green has added to the agenda. Any members of the public have a comment or a question? Please feel free to raise your hand or put it in the chat. While we see if anybody has a question or comment, I see Councilmember Aisha Husbands. Are you able to speak? And would you like to share anything on your committee or any updates? Councilmember Husbands?
Hey, Amy. I'm sorry, Co-President Tsai.
Yeah, I'm trying to unmute.
I called Aisha, Councilmember Husbands, she's not able to unmute, but I have her on speaker if I can use my mic for her to speak.
Sure, go ahead.
Go ahead, Ms. Husbands. Any words that you want to speak about your committee and your time with the council, etc.?
First of all, thank you all for allowing me to serve for these last 2 years. It's been eventful. And I feel like Safety Committee has been able to provide a wealth of information, and it's been an experience learning and helping D75 parents and students, along with working with staff in the main district, the main office, and at the different schools. Yesterday, we had a few speakers from Autism Speak. And next week, we will have on the 15th, another presentation from Autism Speaks, which will only be in Spanish. It will be translated into English and Mandarin. We're trying to provide language access to those that may not have been included in the past. And that this would be at 12 p.m. And then at 6 p.m. that same evening, June 15th, we're going to welcome Christina Foti and Mark Ramprasad to speak about public safety and some changes with special education and District 75. So I hope you all can join us, if not for one, both. And if you can't join for both, please remember that all of our meetings will be available and currently available on the CCD75 YouTube page. Some are available on, or will be available on our website, ccd75.org. And I just want to thank you all again for allowing me to serve and working with each of you this term. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Husbands, and thank you, Councilmember Angel, for letting put a speaker.
Co-President Tsai, Member Husbands wanted to say one more thing.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I just wanted to especially for Co-President Tsai for all of the work that you've put in. I truly appreciate. I know that you've put in a lot of work this past year since you've been co-president, and as well for Christy Angel for all of the work you put in as being the chair of outreach. And I appreciate you both, and I thank you both for all of the work you've done with me and for our students and staff. Now I'm done for real.
Thank you. So someone had put in the chat in regards to the busing schedule for this summer, chapter 683. I knew Deputy Kleinberg had left, so I was wondering if Sasha, if you're there, would you have any information about the busing?
Hi,
Or-
Amy, it's Nora. At this moment, we do not have any updates with busing yet.
Sure.
But as soon as we do, we'll ensure to connect with you.
Perfect. And I think the parent who had put it in chat, and for any parents who are also requiring the same thing for your child or for the families you advocate, to reach out to your principals or your unit coordinators. They probably would be best to know on their end as well. Since they be coordinating the students and the busing services and so forth. So yes, any other public members like to make a comment or ask a question? Okay, so before we go into the next item, if I could just check in with the interpretation rooms, Spanish interpreter, do you have any participants in your room? Or any questions from your participants if there is?
Not right now.
Thank you. Mandarin interpreter, do you have a participant, or if you do they have a question?
I cannot see anyone there, but so far no question from any parents.
Okay. Thank you, Co-President Green. It is 8:24 p.m. Would it be okay if we dismiss the interpreters for this evening?
Most certainly. Thank you to the interpreters, and we will look forward to seeing you. Well, we won't necessarily, but the next council will look forward to seeing you at the next meeting. And we're officially letting you go at 8:24 p.m. So thank you.
Thank you, interpreters. And I wanted to say to all of interpreters, it takes a lot of energy to interpret from one language to another. So thank you for your commitment to come here so early. Make sure you're here to support, and also translating into the language you are interpreting into. So thank you so much. You are dismissed, and take care, and hope to see you soon again.
You.
Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Good night. Thank you. So we will go into the items, Co-President Green, and you would like to that you have added to the agenda. Go ahead.
Thank you. Okay, so first and foremost, we still need to have a bylaws meeting, so I was going to ask Chair Asidu to maybe suggest a couple of dates on hopefully the council, hopefully a few people of the council, or as many people from the council rather, can participate on those days. Councilmember Asidu?
Yes, Co-President Green.
Mm-hmm. Do you have dates now, or do you want us to, or will you email with dates that are?
Email some dates. They're all contingent on Councilmember Spencer and Councilmember Angel's schedule because they are the ones that want certain items presented for the next week.
All right. Thank you, Councilmember Acedio, and thank you for all the work
And it
that
would
you.
be- And based on Councilmember Spencer's schedule, it will be a Wednesday or Thursday is when he's available.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay, so whatever works between himself and Councilmember Angel. Yeah, and also the requirement of the 13-day minimum for T&I.
Interpretation.
We'll pass some dates to the email. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Councilmember.
Adjourn.
Thank you for
You're
all the
welcome.
work that you've done on the committees, including this committee and the including this committee, capacity and utilization as well.
Yeah. I do, however, want to say that since we made changes to the bylaws, I believe the signature page should change as well, because bylaws are contingent on being examined at least maximum every 3 years, and I think we hit that threshold. So if yourself, Co-President Tsai, and Councilmember Montalban would sign a new page, I'll send that out. Be signed to attach to it for our update of it.
All right. Thank you, Councilmember Acedio. Okay.
I do want to just jump in on the bylaws. Councilmember Asidu. Councilmember Angel just had sent a few weeks ago in regards to the hybrid meetings and the technology piece around hybrid to be added to the bylaws. So Constance, can you please?
The hybrid piece is going to be added to the bylaws. We passed a resolution that has to be inserted, and that will be inserted and sent out with because it's already passed, it becomes automatically a part of the bylaws. I will be inserting it into the page where it belongs on meeting formats, and it will be sent out with that change.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But also there still will be discussion on the technology use that the council can look into further. So Councilmember Angel is the one that will be leading that part of the discussion. Any additionals?
Councilmember Angel.
Yes, everyone, thank you. For the technology portion, just to bring everybody full circle again, we've been blessed to be able to have what we needed in the spaces that we've had our meetings outside of having them online. Our money that we did spend, which was $350 for the line item for our equipment. If we do go to a space that is not equipped to handle our meetings with the microphones, with the projectors, et cetera, we do have $350 worth of equipment to support the council that we've already voted on. So we're set in that aspect. What we would need is, as Councilmember Seadu stated, is what the format looks like, what the public is expected, those two pieces that we did vote on to be put in. My only consideration that I'm adding additionally is we voted on standing committees. I know the annual report, curriculum, and inclusion. And I wanted to make sure that those were inserted into the bylaws. And I know with the work that we all have to do to close out this year, I'm definitely not going to say I want to have an additional meeting, but we never voted on what the definitions and missions that we all submitted for the committees to go into the bylaws. So we would technically, we could always share this was a working item to the next council, but otherwise we're just going to have names of what these committees are and kind of people kind of going for it. So I don't know what that looks like, but I wanted to just put that out there as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Angel. Councilmember Spencer, you have your hand up.
Thank you, Co-President Green. Thank you, Councilmember Acedio, in terms of your diligence with the bylaws. She did mention that I also wanted to have wanted to discuss in a bylaw committee meeting, as opposed to because there's so much that we talk about at our regular meetings. Just how this council will interact with District 75 members of the community councils. And as Treasurer Angel mentioned, I mean, everybody's, I mentioned earlier too, my daughter's graduation's in 2 weeks from tomorrow. My time is limited. And also I want to be mindful of, at this point in time of the year, maybe it's best that the incoming council will take the lead on that. I don't know if, I mean, I put it up for a vote last council meeting in terms of suggested dates, and that vote was not that didn't pass. So I'm a little bit hesitant in terms of discussing, well, how should the council relate with other D75 parent leaders in other districts when I'm not going to be on the council next year? So I just want to express that's why Councilman Member CDU mentioned that I requested to discuss this in a bylaws meeting. Our schedules didn't conflicted, so that didn't happen yet. And I want to recognize the autonomy of the incoming council. I don't want to dictate to them. That's why I mentioned in the business meeting that if they ask for my input, I'll do my best to, I'm there for them as my work schedule allows. And maybe it's best that this is prudent at this point to let the next council determine how they're going to do that. That's the feedback I want to give. That's the context I want to lend on record regarding my request for a bylaws meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Spencer. Is there any other comment regarding bylaws or bylaws meetings or? Okay, seeing or hearing none, we'll go on to the next topic. One of the things I was requesting is not an end of year wrap up, a wrap up or a debrief after our end of the year event is this Friday. And Miss Councilmember Angel suggested some sort of video or, I guess to wrap that up or debrief from that or. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Spencer, Councilmember Spencer.
Thank you, Co-President Green. I'd like to make a motion, if you don't mind, to support Treasurer Angel's request to have a video wrap up of the June 9th event and what other outstanding events that she wants to include in that video, to have that video as a wrap up versus a meeting. So I put that, I'm motioning that. Thank you, Co-President Green. And thank you, Treasurer Angel.
Thank you, Councilmember Spencer. Is anyone seconding?
I second.
Thank you, Councilmember Angel. Ms. Verdejo.
Hello,
Sorry.
okay.
Can you do a roll call, please?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so motion by Craig Spencer, seconded by Christy Angel to have a video wrap up as opposed to a meeting. Christy
Actually,
Angel.
Ms. Verdejo, before that, I should say if there's any discussion, I'm sorry. Is there any discussion on the motion? All right, I would like to say this though. I don't mind having a video wrap up, but you can't ask the video wrap up any questions. The last time we had something that I can remember, it was a while ago. There were questions afterwards that council members had. you know, including Miss Angel and so on, you know, about things from the event. So it would be difficult to discuss it if we're not, you know, all on the same thing at the same time. That's if you have questions, why not? Go ahead, Councilmember Spencer.
Thank you, Co-President Green. I recognize that concern, but in the interest of time and just in lieu of knowing what Treasurer Angel and not only Treasurer Angel, but yourself and Co-President Tsai and everyone else on this council, the energy that it's taken. I think if that's if Treasurer Angel is saying that's the best way she can wrap it up, I think she earned, in my opinion, I think she earns the benefit of the doubt to do that. In terms of any questions, correct me if I'm wrong, Treasurer Angel, but they know how to contact you, and it'll be up to the next council to ask those questions. I'm not trying to fight with you, Co-President Green. I'm just giving you feedback in terms of what I'm thinking of, why I put the motion up. The small length of time, knowing what Treasurer Angel has to do in, you know, outside of the council and with the council, and just those two factors, and the fact that Treasurer Angel mentioned it, saying that that's the best way she could do it. I think based on her what she's done throughout the council these past 2 years, I think this council she deserves a vote to have that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Spencer. Before I go to you, Councilmember Angel, I just want to clarify. I'm not arguing with anybody. This is one of the purposes of these meetings is that a lot of this stuff is supposed to be debated here in the public space. So it's not, you know, one way or the other. It's not my way or the highway or anybody else's way or the highway. It's just the debate itself is supposed to happen here. It's not supposed to happen in email. It's not supposed to happen in you know, text chains. It's supposed to happen here for the public to be privy to what we're discussing. And so the only time that is not the case is when we're hiring somebody or something like that. But other than that, as long as it's
in
not
the interest of transparency.
yeah, as long as it's not somebody's information, because when you're hiring, that's people's information, and that definitely can't happen. But other than that, everything else really is supposed to be put out here in these meetings. And I would love for people going forward to know that, you know, whatever debate it is, I'm not talking about dates now. Dates you can do in an email kind of thing, but other stuff, yeah, we're supposed to have the core of the discussion here and stuff. And I'm, you know, I'm not influencing anybody one way or the other. I just, you know, said my piece thing. But Councilmember Angel, I'm sorry for keeping you waiting. Please go ahead.
No, it's totally okay. So several things. We also should remember I have to write a report in totality for the entire year for outreach. I also am submitting a report for the event from outreach, and I will also submit what is needed for the annual report. With that being said, a video is a video is a video, and we can act like it's pop-up video. I won't be done until June 30th. I will try to have it before then. I say that to say, send me your questions. I'll put it in the video. Pop-up question, here's your answer with video. How did you do the RSVPs? Here's the video walkthrough. How was this chosen? Here's screenshots and blah, blah, blah. I'll walk the entire council through. I have nothing that I don't want you guys to know and nothing that I don't want to, you know, hinder the next person coming in. So I welcome the questions. I'll add them to the video and add a video answer, if that's okay. I see Co-President Tsai has a question.
Before Co-President Tsai goes, I just want to say I'm not against the video. I just, like I said, wanted to have the discussion one way or the other. That's all. Okay.
No,
But,
no,
so-
I'm just saying,
Mhm.
I know for myself, the level of work that I need to do and finish for our council by June 30th, it's just a lot. And so I hear council member Siadu, and I hear the bylaws, and then I hear you, and I hear additional meetings, and trying to make sure I get done what I need to do by the 30th. And it's a little bit heavy. So that's why I said doing the video and answering and making sure all the questions are there with the responses and information, which would be on the YouTube, on the website, and available for, the public as well.
All right, no problem. Thank you. And I do appreciate the stuff that you have to do and that you are doing. A lot of heavy lifting. So, it is appreciated. I don't want you to think it's not. I'm just, like I said. Council member Sai, please go ahead.
I just wanted to read the chat. Councilmember Husband said, I missed the explanation. Can it be explained again? And I'm guessing from you that you had said something. And I just want to say respectfully for everyone's end of the year for their children and for the community. It is a very, very short June, and it's also very occupied with a lot of celebration. So I just wanted to express that we need to be very mindful of members on the council who are, what their availability is as to this possible debrief. Because I know, and I'm sure everyone is very busy in this time of the season. So just wanted to say that, but Councilmember Husbands has asked for you to explain again.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. Councilmember Husbands, I had asked to add 3 things to the agenda. One I spoke about already. One is the other one, the one that we're discussing now, was at the beginning of the agenda. I asked if we could have a debrief after our event on the 9th, this upcoming event, just to, if anyone has any questions or anyone wants to comment or whatever it is, meaning council members, not everybody, council members, that they could do so. It would be virtual. But that's what we were discussing, and Councilmember Angel has suggested that if we send her questions, she will make like a video, basically to answer. So that's where it's at right now.
Is that
All
the
right, so say again?
Is that the last item, or do you have another one?
We had a third one. I can't remember what it was, but since Mr. Spencer had put up a motion and Ms. Angel had seconded the motion, I'm gonna let Ms. Verdejo go ahead and take the vote.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. All right, so I'll repeat the motion to have a video wrap up as opposed to a meeting. Christy Angel,
Yes.
Constance Asidu,
No.
Celia Green,
Yeah.
Aisha Husbands, Ms. Husbands,
She said yes in the chat.
okay. Patricia Jewett,
I say no.
okay. Joanne Jones,
Yes.
Christy Montavon,
Yes.
Angel Morales,
Yes.
Craig Spencer,
Just point of clarification. So the motion is, just to add, is a wrap up of the 6-9 event and any other outstanding questions that stemming from that and her activities. That's what the full motion is, just so you
All right.
know.
So are we looking to amend it or?
No, because you said it in brief, but I was more specific in terms of when I initially. So if you could just add that to.
Okay, certainly will, no problem.
Thank
Okay, you got it, Mrs. Spencer, okay.
And I vote yes.
Okay, thank you. And Amy Mingsai?
Yes.
Okay. All right, 8 votes for yes, the motion has passed.
Okay. Ms. Verdejo, what was the last thing? I know I did 3. We done 2.
I'm sorry. Oh,
What was-
for the additions to the agenda, pretty much Ms. Christie not wanting, not having an additional meeting, but to provide it, you know,
Oh,
video
that was
or
the third.
text.
Okay,
Yes.
so the third
Yep.
thing was what she added. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
So there's only one other thing I want to ask about, because I know at the last meeting, Mr. Spencer had put up a motion and, you know, about, you know, because as a council, we usually leave dates for the next council. I do see here that now we have an annual and a calendar meeting slated for the new term, 2023 to 2025, for June 19th. I want to know what happened to the business meeting, because usually it's the annual business and calendar. And 2, who necessarily voted on July 19th, because we didn't vote on any date. We said we would let the next council come up with the dates.
So I'll
So,
jump in, Co-President Green. So that's
Mhm.
according to the bylaws. If you read under the bylaws of the calendar, annual, and business, that was followed by the calendar of those dates. So if they choose to, whoever comes into the council and wants to change those dates, certainly they have their rights to, but that's the dates that follow on the calendar accordingly to the bylaws.
but there's no business, is what I'm saying. There
It's on
still
the
has to be a
business, it's on the business agenda. The notice has not been created yet. We were
Okay,
just
I get it. I get it now.
solidifying permit for the space.
Okay, all right.
Thank you, Co-President Green. So I just wanted to lastly end with 2 things that I had forgotten to just add. And I wanted just to say thank you to our parent leader here, Stephanie Bonilla, and her school community, and Principal Syracuse, who was here earlier in the platform. I was informed 2 weeks ago, one of their students at their school, and maybe some of you had heard, the student who was in the Bronx, who fell out of his family's apartment window and has passed away. So I had attended the wake for the family of the Ramos family, and they had flew out to the DR, Dominican Republic, to finalize their funeral and the burial of their son. So just wanted to send all the prayers to the family, as well as 596X school community. And it was well-warmed vigil that Miss Bonilla and all the leaders had put together. So thank you so much, Stephanie, for doing that for the family and the school community. And lastly, again, we are going into a new term with not just citywide council for District 75, but also 32 additional District 75 parent members who will be sitting on the local community education councils 1 through 32. And hopefully we can fulfill those seats this July. And if not, we are going to continue to work on fulfilling all of the 32 seats for the District 75 parent member seat. So in working with family and community engagement and with the current CECs from 1 to 32, really ensuring the relationship and collaboration and partnership with the work we do here, District 75, and our local community constituents. And so it was really wonderful to work side by side with all and everyone. And I really want to just embrace my members here and all the parent leaders that are on this platform as well, to continue to support each and every member of the community in embracing our awesome, amazing students in the work of success and opportunity. And let's continue to do it. So I encourage all of us to continue to support, advocate, have multiple conversation with our local CECs 1 to 32, including citywide council on high schools, citywide councils on English language learners, and the citywide council on special education, in the wonderful partnership that we have in District 75. So I don't know if any other members would like to add on, but I think that this will be a amazing experience as being the first term of having 32 more District 75 parent leaders on the community citywide education councils. So thank you. And thank you for all the hearts. Co-President Green, do you have anything before we motion to adjourn the evening? Councilmember Spencer, I see your hand up.
Well, you asked Co-President Green, right? You want me to go first?
Oh, I see your hand, so
Oh,
go ahead.
Go ahead, Mr. Spencer, I'll wait.
thank you, Co-President Green. Yeah, I hear you, Amy. I hear you in my voice. Come on, Craig, hurry up, damn it. I need to, Amy, thank you. I've grown in advocacy with you. You're my advocate sister, basically. I remember those times on our first term where we were like, well, what the hell are we doing here? You know, is this council worth our time? Like all this drama, and look at us now. What was it? It was somewhere in Times Square. We had McDonald's or Starbucks or something. We like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What is this council doing? And look at us now. Despite the freaking pandemic, God bless you, Amy Ming Tsai. God bless you and your kids and your family. This is the last time I get to publicly say this, so you know, please let me. What I 8:54? Okay, all right. I'll keep it brief, but yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess I got to say that. I need to shout out Mr. Shamel Lawrence Sr. Not only did I learn from you, Amy, and learn a side besides you, but I learned the former co-president of this council last year, school year. He taught me some learning lessons, so I need to lift him up in this space. And the work that we did during the pandemic to keep this council alive, well, not alive, but you know, active, and to maintain the legacy, to bring both you and Co-President Green and Co-President Tsai into the space and lift it up. So I need to uplift Shamel Lawrence Sr. in this space. I don't know. Yeah, I wanna definitely lift up what you're mentioning in terms of working with these new D75 leaders in the local councils. And okay, yeah. So so I can nip this in the bud because it is 8:55. You know, I won't be on this council, but I have some other advocacy venues that I hope to look into, and I'll keep this council. I'll keep folks in the loop, and I'll be around as much as I can. Because I wasn't here for my daughter's taking care of it. I was here for making sure other people's family benefit like my daughter benefited. And thank you parents that elected me. I hope I represented you well. I wish you and yours all the best. Keep healthy and safe and keep flourishing. And that's about it. Thanks.
Thank you. And I just want to say, it was an amazing work along with the president and the chair of Special Education Committee in District 11. They hosted a IEP fair, resource fair with District 75. And quite amount of good District 75 families actually came out last Saturday as well. So it was really nice that they opened arms for the District 75 families to enjoy some fun and some information and some great food. And I know that some of the other CECs were hoping to do the same thing. And, unfortunately, lots of things are happening. So we will continue to do that work with all of the local CECs. And I will be here continuing if I'm not on council or on the council. So thank you. Councilmember Angel, and then we'll go back to Co-President Green.
I wanted to just flag what was in the chat when you were speaking about our students that had passed away. Councilmember Husbands did type prayers for our former D75 721K student who passed away on May 27th. Prayers to his family and friends. The wake and funeral took place on June 4th. So we want to make sure that we lift up prayers and energy for that family and those surrounded and affected by that passing of that student as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Co-President Green.
Thank you, Co-President Tsai. All right, so this is the culmination of a two-year term for all of us here sitting on the council. I, again, thank you all for your service. It was an honor to serve with you all. And I'm hoping that everyone's family stays safe and healthy, especially in the conditions outside. Be careful in the next day or so because of all this smoke and so on. But other than that, keep supporting D75. And if you ever need us, we are here. That is what the council is for. So thank you. And in closing, I want to know, can I get a motion from one of the council members to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Councilmember Angel. Can I get a second?
I second it, Co-President Green.
A second was given by Councilmember Spencer. Is there anyone opposed to this motion?
Ouch. Damn.
Is there anyone who is abstaining from this motion? Here are no objections and here are no abstentions. This council meeting is now over at 8:59 p.m. Thank you all for participating, and we will look forward to seeing you all soon. Stay safe, everyone.